teacher Sajero, and I'm from New York City. My family's from Nigeria. I've grown up on Rosewood Island for my whole life, practically. And we are at Ibari on 26th Street and 23rd Avenue in Astoria. Nneji was a response to the warm reception we received here at Ibari and the request from many Astorians for what they called real food. We're just about a year. Last week I think we made a year. We opened this time June, phase 2, and we opened Ibari September 2018. We thought that we would do well by bringing very nostalgic items that were pantry items from Western Africa or from other parts of the world that were related. I think the pantry items were a surprise to many. Encouraged us to find a space where we could offer West African soups and stews as a way to learn about the heritage. My family is from an ethnic group called the Igbo people, and for us we're yam farmers and we're also coastal people. So we thought that soups and grain pairings would offer the best and most authentic representation of what everyday food life is like in Nigeria and in the Igbo part of Nigeria. Our goal was, how do we share this cuisine that is very varied and also try to speak to a lot of the commonalities in the region and the diaspora, but also how can we use ingredients that touch on the same sentiments in other regions and our neighboring regions, neighboring countries around the world. This is cassava. It is gari in this state. It's from the tubers of cassava, and the tubers are grated and the starch is removed. It's all fiber, no starch, and a great probiotic. This is West African red stew with beef. In the region, it's a marinara, if you will. Everyone has their own iteration. Some like it with a more pureed tomato, some like it more decadent. At Nneji, we use beef, smoked barracuda, cow skin, and cow foot to add a blend of proteins alongside high antioxidant-rich stew. It can go well over rice, and it can also be paired with gari. This stew here is eforiro. In this state, we use it as either a vegan offering. We also pair it with black pepper salmon. Eforiro is very common amongst the Yoruba people of southwest Nigeria. Their eforiro begins with lots of spinach and tomato, but it is very decadent, has cow skin, cow foot, several different types of smoked fish, meat, different beefs of your choice. We really wanted to pay close attention to regional representations, even as we have sort of an Igbo undercurrent. So we chose items that, one, spoke to other cultures in the region so that you could sort of see several countries at a time in our menu, but also items that had ingredients that you'd see across the diaspora. So okra features well in the West Indies and the American South, but it's also in Egypt, it's also in Greece. And then in our grain choices, we have fonio, we have a rice pilaf called jollof rice that is like paella, like biryani, and also gari, which is cassava or yuca in Latin America. We think that our presentation still is authentically African or Igbo because we do this grain pairing with stews, and that's what every Igbo or Nigerian wakes up to, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As we sort of highlight and share Igbo cuisine, in doing so, we also highlight the shared human connection around food. So many things cut across so many cultures, you know, so the oil, the spices, the teas, it's always been there. And in food, we see the broader, you know, human family connection. So, well, it's for me a great point of duty, I think, as a second generation Igbo. And as a second generation yam farmer, when you enter the external foyer, that's a physical structure in every Igbo compound called the obi, you're presented with your first form of food as a way to signify your reception, which is the kola nut or oji. Anyone who's receiving you brings you out the kola nut, and that is to say you're welcome here. And when we present the kola nut, we invite the ancestors, those who are no longer with us, those who are with us, and those who are yet to come, to govern this next conversation or invitation of a family, friend, visitor. And so for us as Igbos, food is constantly a symbol of hospitality, of sharing, and also just a transmission of cultural values. And to bring that to a place like Astoria, I say as a point of duty because as an American, I think of the role we all play in bringing the cultures that we've come with to this great place and helping to continue to define it for the next set of generations. We are small batch, we are slow, we deliver, of course. What we source is very important to us. Using the whole vegetable is very important to us. Maintaining the high nutritional impact of our food is very important to us so that we offer the brain food components that are in the tropics and all the things that are part of Igbo cuisine that really highlight all the ways that it impacts the body positively. My neighbors here, many of which are Greek and Italian, have highlighted to me that when you preserve culture and you share it, there is no more beautiful thing, or nothing more beautiful, rather. The basket is something that Nneji was one of the first things we put in our window to bring a little bit of Ibari over to Nneji, and it spoke to a fun accessory that was also natural. Also signifies the harvesting and collective sharing that comes with what you use baskets to do, and the idea of generosity that the basket signifies is a great thing. I think that we're always excited to share. In Igbo tradition, it is not considered a good omen to make food just for yourself. If you pick up any food item, they say it has to touch everybody's mouth in that space before it touches yours, and that is to say someone is always with you wherever you are, especially when food is present. We also don't have a word for I, so the word for me is mo, which is spirit. When we think about food, we always think of who might like this, who might share this. Recent addition to the menu that is we'll maybe say most Igbo is okazi soup. It's a powerhouse for the body. It detoxifies, it regulates your glucose level, and has lots of iodine. What's in it is smoked barracuda, palm cream, spinach, and the okazi leaf, which is really an herb. And then there's a little bit of spicy goat that goes on top for friends who are willing. I guess I could highlight the okazi because it's something that's on our menu that is the only thing very characteristically Igbo. It's a leaf. So if someone calls me and they're Nigerian, they say I tell them I have this soup, they'll say, oh, I don't know that one, which is to say we don't grow it. It's been nice to see friends request for it on Grubhub, and it's also great that it's easy to pronounce, I think. So I'm happy about that, and it's a very generous soup, so I'd say okazi is a nice one. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.